Well, I'm joined with my next guest, the red-headed machine, Gillian Robertson. How's it going? How are you?
I'm doing great. We're less than 2 weeks out now, so I'm excited. We're getting down to the crunch time, getting down to the last couple days.
February 13th, 11 days. I'm sure you should be counting by now.
Oh yeah, every single night. This is what I look forward to, so I'm just excited to get back in there.
Yeah, exactly. I will quickly talk about you briefly about your last fight. I know you probably won't want to talk about that. It didn't go your way that night, but we'll keep it short and sweet. When you were fighting in this fight, it was kind of a grueling fight. A lot of grappling, heavy pressure. But when nothing seems to go your way, what kind of runs through your head during this fight?
Uh, I guess it's the same thing that starts from the beginning. It just keeps on going, just keep on fighting, keep on looking for ways to finish, and until the end, I'm always searching for a way to get her out of there, a way to end the fight, and no matter, obviously, I guess it just gets more dire, the need to finish. I just keep on wanting to finish more and more the closer it gets to the end, because obviously going into the third round, you know you're down, you know you need to do something impressive.
Yeah, exactly. In the first round, you almost pulled out something impressive. You got that armbar, and you let it go. How close was the armbar to finishing?
I feel like I was close. It was a good setup. She didn't expect it at all, so I was really happy with that. But honestly, like she just got a grip on her, got her hands together, and she was just very strong. So when she got that, I just wasn't able to break it.
You said there that she was very strong. It was a grappling heavy fight. She seemed to like kind of control you on the ground throughout the whole fight. Was you kind of surprised that the ability for her to control you on the ground with her background as well? She's a Muay Thai fighter. Was you kind of surprised with the ability with her on the ground?
Yes and no. She was able to control me, but she wasn't really able to capitalize on anything. So I feel like it was a lot of like besides that one elbow, obviously I had that big cut on my nose. But aside from that, I feel like it was a lot of her just holding me and kind of stagnant, you know.
So, as I said, I'll keep it short and sweet. I don't want you to talk about the losses. I just want to talk about what's ahead, what's the future. So, we'll talk about your next assignment. And I just feel like you can't say no to a fight. I mean, was it you just had a fight against Ali Santos, and what was it? Just not even a month after that, you've accepted one. You're scheduled to fight, and you're fighting Miranda Maverick. I mean, why did you come back so quick, and why didn't you kind of like wait and give it time to kind of take in a loss and kind of like work on the mistakes that you had in that loss? Why did you say no so quickly? Yes, so quickly.
I don't think it makes a difference whether I'm coming off a win or a loss. I always have mistakes to work on, so it's always just testing myself and getting better at the game every single day. So I approach it the same and just keep on moving forward, keep on looking for the next obstacle, the next test, and that's how I'm going to be the best in the world one day.
I love the mentality. That's what you have when you're a fighter. The mentality, you got to be driven, and I can definitely see it the way you're speaking.
Oh yeah, 100%. You gotta want this. It's not, especially at the beginning. You can't be in it for the money or the fame. It's harder at the beginning of the sport, so you really gotta love it. You gotta love the sport.
Exactly, 100%. Your next assignment, as I mentioned there, Miranda Maverick. She's a very hard-hitting fighter, and not many fighters like to kind of talk about their game plan. But what can we expect for you to do to win the fight?
I think everybody knows what to expect from me. Everybody knows I'm trying to take it to the ground and trying to put you out. So I'm always going for the neck, going for them throat cuddles.
She kind of mentioned that I actually interviewed her on another platform, and she this is her quote, and she said, "I think she's a little bit of a delusional mindset on how easy it is to take me down." And then I proceeded to mention that Gillian's no joke on the ground. She can get your neck, she can get your arm, and then she replied with that she's comfortable on her back. What's your thoughts on what kind of she had to say about that?
I definitely feel like she has a good wrestling background. She obviously has shown it in some of her previous fights, but it's a different world with me, and it's a different type of pressure on top of you, and you don't know it till you experience it.
Yeah, as she said in the same interview that she was predicting a second round TKO against you. How do you stop that?
I think it's hard to TKO someone when you're on your back, so that's my goal.
She said she's comfortable on her back. So what can you kind of expect for her to throw up on her back? Maybe a triangle, maybe an armbar.
I definitely think she is comfortable on her back. It's shown in a lot of her previous fights, but she also doesn't have great hip dexterity, great hip movement. So I don't think that she's going to be able to necessarily pull something off like that on me.
Yeah, you quickly briefly answered this question earlier, but how do you win this fight on February 13th?
We're going for a rear naked choke. I'll say second round's usually my that's usually my strong round. That's usually where I get it. So I'll say second round rear naked choke.
Yeah, that's actually. I was watching some tape on Molly McCann earlier because obviously she's fighting soon, and I saw you choke her out, and I was watching the whole fight. I was impressed. That was at Liverpool as well, in her hometown. You had to do it to her, didn't you? Oh my god.
That was my first UFC fight really
Hmm.
outside of the Tough House too. My UFC debut was in the Tough Finale, so it's like that was my first UFC fight with like the full UFC kit and everything. I was so excited, and I get to go in. She was the Cage Warriors champ, getting signed to the UFC. I was like, that was probably the most nervous I've ever been for a fight. But Molly is 100% the coolest opponent I've ever had. Still to this day, we'll message each other. Like we've hung out after the fight. I love Molly.
I like to see that between fighters, that respect, and just a kind of respect between the fighters that are in the cage. And I like to see it after the decision has been drawn and whatever happened in that fight. It's so great to see.
Oh yeah, it's all part of the sport. It's just we're in there to compete, and it doesn't matter after. It's a sport. We're in this together, especially as girls. There's not very many of us in it.
That's a great way of putting it. Not many divisions in the women's I don't know, women's MMA. You only got about four. You got atom weight, you got straw weight, flyweight, bantamweight, and briefly featherweight and lightweight. But that's about it for the women's and men's. They've got every weight.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like, well, just in general, you go into a gym. Majority of times, you have one or two girls,
Hmm.
maybe, in a gym of 30 guys plus.
Well, that's a great segue onto. You just made me think of a question. Was it like? Did you usually train with men, or is it women, or do you mix it?
Primarily, my main drilling partners are men. So I have Jose Shorty Torres and David Evans. They're my two main drilling partners,
Hmm.
and so I'm drilling with them every single day. And a lot of my live rounds are more with girls. I do go with guys too. Like I'll get my live rounds with both those guys, but then I'll do some with the girls too, just because they move different. Girls are more flexible. Girls just do a lot of different. They play the game different than guys do. So you got to get your rounds with both.
They're probably a little bit more patient than the men. Men like to kind of rush their work a little bit.
I think it's the opposite. I feel
The
like girls
opposite.
are like, yeah, girls are probably more the ones who are trying to get at it, trying to scrap, where guys are gonna like pick you apart and trying to figure out your game a little bit more.
Yeah, a little bit more feisty. You could probably say the women are.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, well, it's great to be talking to you. I didn't want to hold you for too long. You got a fight coming up soon. I want you to prepare with Din Thomas as much as you can as possible.
Oh, thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you today.
Thank you so much. I hope you win the fight because you're a lovely girl to speak to, and you're a great fighter. And I wish you all the best in the future.
Oh, thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much. Thank you.